What's up, guys? Welcome back to Zen Magic, the show where I teach you amazing magic and do even more amazing performances. If you're new to the show, welcome to the show where you can learn simple yet powerful magic. So be sure to subscribe because today we're learning Joker's Wild. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, welcome back to Zen Magic. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome as well. Today, I'm going to be teaching you a classic trick. As you already heard, it is originally called Joker's Wild. I have a different variation of it that's a little bit different. And you'll just see the real one uses jokers. This is different. But here's how Joker's Wild goes. As you can see, I have a 9 of spades right here. In fact, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I have a queen. Queen of hearts. The queen is kind of like a wild card. The queen can do anything, because it's a wild card, right? We have that, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more 9s. So we have 8 9s and 1 queen of hearts. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put some 9s face down right here. Just 4 of them face down. And then I'll put 4 more face up. And that leaves us with the only queen. Here's the thing about the queen, though. Since the queen is a wild card, whatever card it touches becomes a queen. So like if we take this 9, pair it with the queen, we just give it a spin like that, and they're both queens. In fact, it works with either of them. We can even take this 9 right here, this 9 of spades. We'll put him in between the 2 queens, just like that, and he comes out as a queen as well. Here it is again. We take him, just like this, spin it, and it's a queen. And same thing. Take this 9 of spades. He has to go in between the 2, but he will always come out a queen. And here's the thing. I don't even need to do anything. If I just tap the card just like that, it becomes a queen. Just like that. Every time. Look. I take it. All it takes is it goes in between. And then just like this, it's a queen. Just like this. Every time. We'll do it the last one. Take the queen, give it a little spin, rotate, and they're both queens. Final time with this queen. This 9 of spades right here is going to become a queen. We take it and place it in between these 2 queens. Give it a little rub, and it becomes a queen. That's Joker's Wild. Let's learn how to do it. Alright, so let's learn how to do this. The one thing I don't like about this trick is the repetition that you do. In Magic, you know, the more often you repeat a trick, the more likely it is that they'll figure it out. That's the one thing I don't like about this, the repetitive move that you do in order to change these cards. And here's the big secret. This is not a normal bicycle deck, this is a deck of gaff cards. Or gimmicked cards. So they're all gimmicked. No bicycle deck comes with 9 Queen of Hearts. Especially not Queen of Hearts that are double-faced. That's right, these are called double-faced cards. They're 2 different cards on each side. And again, the original trick is called Joker's Wild, so instead of queens, it would be jokers. You can make these cards yourself, or I recommend purchasing this deck. Link to it will be in the description. It is Magic Maker's Ultimate Gaff Deck. If you're interested, it's got a ton of gaff cards in it, all different tricks. And we'll be using these a lot for some other tricks coming soon. Stay tuned till the end of the video for an announcement on the channel. But anyway, I will be doing a video on how to make gaff cards. That's coming. Also, that'll be an announcement later. How to make gaff cards using a secret technique. That is actually probably going to be next week's video. So make sure you're subscribed so you'll know when that happens. So, here's what we're going to do. These double-face cards are the entire secret. These queens right here, these 5 are just normal. They have a normal back, all of them. So you take these double-face cards, and they're going to go on top of the regular queens. And then I do a count. As we learned from a previous video, fundamentals, you learned about something called an Elmsley count. There's all different types of counts, but basically a count is designed to make it seem like you have more or less of cards than you actually have. So what I did was I pull off, I only have 4 9s, by the way. Only 4, the rest are just normal queens. So what I do is I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I draw attention to this queen. And I do that by setting this entire packet on top, but keeping a break. Once I show the queen, I'm going to grab down here and then slide this entire packet off. But don't flash that you have queens, though. That takes practice, too. So you say that one, but doing the same manner as if you were dealing off a card. And then show the other 4 9s that you supposedly have. In reality, you just reset it. You have 5 queens and 4 double-backed 9 spades. And then here's what you do. You you just lay these 9 cards down, just like this. This is the queen they think is the only one. Turn it over and then deal face down. And then show the queen as the wild card. So I'll show you that again. These queens. Double-face queens. 9 of spades on one side. They go together, and so do these. So, once you've finished counting off all the 9s, let's just say you counted off 1, 2, 3, 4. You draw attention to the queen and set it on top, but keep a break. Grab the bottom packet and swing this over, and then pretend like you just took that single queen off, and then show that you have 4 more 9s. There are other ways of doing it. This is the simplest way to do it, though. And then just put these 4 down. Don't flash that you have more. Like, don't let them separate so they see that. Put the 4 9s down, turn the packet over, and put the other 4 9s face down. In reality, these are always queens. And now here comes this trick you're going to do. You show the queen as the wild card, and make sure that they know that this is a wild card, because you want to take their mind off of all of this. Draw attention to the queen and say, look, here, every time it touches a 9, just put it behind, just like this, give them a little spin, and show that it changes to a queen. And then they'll be like, they might think that maybe that was a queen the whole time, but then you show them that it can be done with the 9. Here's how you do that. As you close these up and square them, you keep a pinky break. Alright? Because this is a double backed card. So when you place this on top, you're going to do a double turnover. Now, a double turnover is just a double lift, but you do it for a small packet of cards. I take both of these cards and turn them over. They think this card is the 9, because when I flip over this 9, it becomes a queen, and this other queen comes with it, so they think that this is the back of the card. Then you place the queen in what they think is the 9 in between the two. This is really what your setup is. 9, queen, queen. And then show that it comes out queen. Now the important thing to remember here is which one is your double backer, because this cannot be your double backer. If you go and try and do the trick with this, you're going to go like this. And maybe it could work, but if you ever want to do, like, anything else, like, let's say you take it and you give it a rotate, so you can't do that because you'll show this 9. So just make sure you know which one is which, so that you always have the normal queen in your hand, and not the double-faced one. So I'll show you that again. You take this 9, place it right here, and do a double turnover. I have 2 cards. You can see that. And then this gets placed in between what they think is the 9. And then just do some acting, whatever, show that it becomes a queen. Now this is the main thing I don't like about this trick, It's the repetition of that move. So like you tap it, make it a queen. The fact that you're doing the same thing, taking this 9, placing it on top before you turn it over, it kind of draws attention to itself, and they might catch on. So just be aware of that. The way you can get around that is with the story about the queen being a wild card, and just keep up with that. Every time it will make a card into a queen of hearts. So that's Joker's Wild. Again, we will do a video on making gaff cards next week. All about gaff cards, how to make them, and I'll be showing you some gaff cards and what they can do, so that whenever I refer to a gaff card, you'll know what I'm talking about. That's all we got for today, and now for some announcements. Okay, so a couple of announcements. Again, I will leave a link in the description where you can purchase the Magic Maker's Ultimate Gaff deck. This deck has a ton of cards in it that are all gimmicked. You can use them for a bunch of different tricks. So next week I will be doing a full tutorial on making gaff cards. If you would like to make the gaff cards for this trick, Joker's Wild, you have to be willing to shed a few dollars. You can purchase an 8-pack brick. That's what we call a bunch of decks together. It's called a brick. It's 8 to 12 decks. And take all the Jokers out and take all of one card out and make your own set. But I recommend just spending $10 and not having to waste all those decks. You take all the Jokers out and all of one card, because that's kind of a waste of money. Or you could probably just get the trick itself, just Joker's Wild, with just those gimmicked cards. Again, it's a great trick, a classic trick. So, in the coming weeks, I'm going to start something a little bit different. I'm going to be teaching you some more in-depth things like that, like how to make gaff cards and all that stuff, making magic props. I'll show you how to make all kinds of different props and things like that. That way you can do magic anytime without having to spend a lot of money, because magic props are very, very expensive. This deck was $10. Normally bicycle decks are $5, sometimes they're $10. I think the most expensive deck I have here is $15. So that's something to look out for. Again, you need to subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll never miss any of my videos, and you'll know when those videos come out, because next week we'll be learning how to make gaff cards in a new series I am starting called Making Magic series, where I just talk all about how to make magic. We'll learn about the secrets of misdirection and mind reading and all that stuff. It's going to be a great series. So that is coming. Hope you enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you did, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter for more exclusive content. And remember that we perform to amaze. See you next week.